Details after the break.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
We love plenty gal ting. Every day we snouting, say boom.
Yo, this is Skinny Fabulous and I'm inviting you to be ready this carnival season with Courts Ready Cash. Get up to $20,000 cash right now. No deposit needed and it's completely hassle-free. You will have your money in your hand in less than 24 hours. What are you waiting for? Don't miss the vibes this carnival season. It's all about Courts Ready Cash. Ready when you are.
Thinking bad, all my friend them stinking mad. We be having blinking bad. Martel call me the drinking god.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Mervyn Thompson. First up locally, the police are investigating a fatal stabbing incident of a male. It occurred in Keon in the early morning hours of Sunday. More details will be provided as they become available. Officials at Her Majesty's Prison, HMP, in St. Kitts are working to begin staff training following disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Commissioner of Corrections at HMP, Terrence James, said that staff training was one of the key aspects of a prison reform symposium held on Tuesday and Wednesday at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. He indicated that staff at the institution must be prepared to upgrade their knowledge and skill set. He is quoted as saying, "If we are to have inmates reformed so that when they are discharged, they can reintegrate into society and make a positive contribution, we must have staff trained on how to reform inmates." End quote. The Commissioner of Corrections noted that training should have commenced in 2019, but the pandemic derailed those plans. Efforts are now being made to have officials visit the Dodds Correctional Facility in Barbados. And finally, on the local scene, citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis are invited to apply for scholarships available in the Kingdom of Morocco. 20 scholarships are available for the 2022-2023 academic year. Interested persons should submit application forms, which should be accompanied by 2 copies of diplomas or certificates, 2 authenticated copies of high school transcripts, 2 extracts of birth certificates, 2 copies of the passport biodata page, a recent criminal record, a medical certificate indicating that one is physically fit and not suffering from any acute diseases, and 2 colored passport-sized photos with the name and nationality of the applicant written on the back. Forms should be submitted to Jamila Adams at the Human Resource Management Department, Government Headquarters, no later than August 5th, 2022. All applicants must be fully vaccinated. Applicants should also take note of the age limit set by each institution to ensure that they meet the requirements. Applicants will also be required to attend French classes at Alliance Française. Coming up, we'll have another look at some of the stories from the past week. Stay tuned.
It's Horseman's Building Center's Switch On Electrical and Lighting Sales Event happening now until July 31st at Horseman's Building and Nevis Center. Our electricals and lighting departments will be switched on with 25% off. That's right, 25% off electricals and lighting products happening now until July 31st. 25% off on all electricals and lighting products at Horseman's Building Centers on St. Kitts and Nevis. Switch on the deals, switch on the quality products, switch on the savings, and switch on 25% off on all electricals and lighting products today. Horswood's Building and Nevis Centers. We've got the savings switched on. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Elevate your experience with Flow's fiber-fast internet and mobile combined. Enjoy double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines, plus up to 35 megabits per second home internet speed at the best rate, giving you the best value to stay connected. Hon, I think our Flow mobile is elevated.
You think?
An elevated experience starts with Flow at home, powering double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines at the best rate. Visit a Flow store to sign up today.
When my mom was a child, my grandma was only able to provide just what they needed. When my mom got older, she was then able to provide what they needed and some. But now, with FlexPay, I am able to get everything we need and lots more with cashback.
For the last 25 years, SN Hospice Company Limited has given customers millions in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cashback.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. Candidates of the People's Action Movement addressed the public on Wednesday during the party's campaign liftoff event on Central Street. More in this report.
PAM supporters came out in their numbers on Wednesday night to hear from each candidate contesting a seat in their respective constituencies. The section of Central Street in front of the Skellig main office was blocked off for the event, which began with performances from national and regional artists. Addressing the gathering, the party's national political leader, Sean Richards, said PAM and its partner, the CCM, represent the best hope for the future of St. Kitts and Nevis.
This group of selfless men and one woman, and this one movement comprising of PAM and CCM. A team of individuals who have set aside their lives and their livelihoods to advocate for this movement and to advocate for change.
He said the party's strength comes from their ability to represent and relate to the ordinary members of the public.
We are representative of the grassroots, and we are representative of the government. Just this morning, I was able to go over to Parson Ground, and I went to the farm of Troy Flanders, and as I arrived there was Troy in his boots, in his farmer pant and his farmer shirt, and he and I were there walking through his farm, and I learned a lot about farming from Troy this morning. That is why I said to you that this is a grassroots movement, because we understand the concerns of ordinary grassroots people in this country.
Mr. Richards went on to speak on the attributes of the candidates and listed how they would each plan to work in the best interest of the people. In a symbolic gesture of ringing a bell, Mr. Richards called on the Prime Minister to announce the election date. General elections are constitutionally due by early August. Jason Davis for ZIZ News.
Still on the political scene, scrutineer of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party has voiced concerns he says he has with the electoral office. Here's that report.
Scrutineer of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, Larry Vaughan, has expressed grievances he has had with the Supervisor of Elections, Elvin Bailey. In an interview with ZIZ News at the Electoral Office on Central Street, Vaughan outlined his issues.
I've been having some issues with the Chief Registration Officer, who we know as the Supervisor of Elections. The first issue that would have surfaced would have been last week when on Friday the 1st I had to write to him about getting access to the objections.
Sorry, Friday the 1st
of July. Friday the 1st of July. I was looking for access to all the objections across the constituencies, going back each month, starting with the May list, because that's the latest to be objected to.
A scrutineer is a person who observes any process that requires rigorous oversight and is responsible for preventing corruption and detecting genuine mistakes. Mr. Vaughan, as the SKNLP scrutineer, claims that Mr. Bailey instructed the office to, quote, tell me that they are not available, even though 2 days prior to that I had a conversation with Mr. Bailey about the ways I'd get access to documents, end quote. He said he wrote to the Electoral Commission in order to gain access. Mr. Vaughan detailed another issue he has had this week.
Following that, when I came in this week on Tuesday, I was told by one of the staff at the office that Mr. Bailey has instructed that the certificates of registration, which I would normally see on a regular basis, that if someone comes in even now and after the person has left, I'll be able to see the certificate of registration as is allowed by the Regulation 3, Sub-Regulation 16 of the Act. He's saying now, I cannot see. He is not allowing them to show me those certificates of registration.
Mr. Vaughan then went on to outline the regular process by which he has been able to see documents, which, according to him, has recently changed.
I have often sought to ask the staff if they're using the book. If they say no, they're not using the book, may I see the book please? And I record and I hand them back the book. Mr. Bailey is saying that it is an inconvenience for me to ask them for the book even when they are not registering anybody and using the book. And so I find that there is a problem with this, and I am asking Mr. Bailey and the public to make sure that Mr. Bailey is doing what he's supposed to be doing as the supervisor of election. And he's not to be putting hindrances in the way of people who are coming to this place to be the checks and balance for the system.
ZIZ reached out to Mr. Bailey to get his side of the story, but he was unable to comment at the time. He said he would give a response at a later date.
A man has been convicted of the double murder of the Finch sisters in 2018. Here's more.
The Director of Public Prosecutions has reported that on July 6, Orvis Pogson was convicted by a unanimous jury for the double murder of sisters Naomi Finch and Jamelia Finch, which took place on the 1st of March 2018. According to the DPP, after the jury returned a unanimous guilty verdict on counts 1 and 2 of murder, His Lordship Justice Morley ordered a pre-sentence report and victim impact statement in preparation for the sentencing on October 10. On April 12, 2022, Pogson pleaded guilty to manslaughter, but the Director of Public Prosecutions did not accept the guilty plea of manslaughter, and the matter proceeded to trial where he was convicted for the double murder.
After the break, Biggest Loser wins big in Antigua and Barbuda, and Sri Lanka hopes to install new government after day of